Yeah, so I guess I'll kick off the report. So firstly, just a bit of overview of what we do in media. So it's actually a pretty new portfolio, and last year was the first year that we had a dedicated media portfolio, which was previously publications before that. And that sort of just means that we've been able to expand from beyond just articles to podcasts, and also a bit more into videos this year. So it's a pretty cool portfolio because, yeah, there's a lot of scope to do a lot of different things with it. And so we've moved towards the online continuous distribution platform. And so that's through like our media website where all our content is hosted, and now also the CSESoc interim website. And Clarence has got some really cool stats for that later. But yeah, media is basically like the non-technical part of like CSESoc compared to workshops. So we focus on like interviewing people and spanning a broad range of content, which we will begin to cover soon. But yeah, onto the next slide. Before we start any of what we've done this year, a massive shout out has to go to our entire subcom, because literally nothing would have happened without these guys. Like, yeah, they put in so much work into creating the content that we'll showcase in the next couple of slides. But yeah, and especially took it like chances moving to COVID and everything online, and having to figure out a lot of new stuff with the media portfolio. So yes, we will showcase these achievements yeah, in these slides. So some of the main things we did this year. So started off with a bit of a bang with first year guide, and this was the first year that we got the advice from last year's directors to try and move it online. So it's fully hosted on the media website as a little segment on that. And it reached over 1,000 students during O Week and seemed to get a lot of good feedback from that. And we got people to write articles for it. I think Teresa did one from Hayden, and yeah, just helping sort of one-stop shop to go to when you don't really know how to, when you're, yeah, a bit stuck with everything going on at uni. And then with Echo, our podcast. So far we've released 11 podcasts during 2020. And we hit a milestone with over 3,000 downloads this year, which is pretty exciting. And with articles, we also scaled up a lot from last year in terms of quantity. And so we had 7 articles published on the media website, and they all span quite a range of topics. So a bit more diversity in the content as well this year, which is really exciting. And then videos, we successfully filmed some of the first like more original media content this year. Actually did a big bulk of filming, was it yesterday? Yesterday, which was pretty exciting, and it went really well. But yes, I think the next slide just has thanks to Creative for all the amazing banners and thumbnails for all our podcasts and videos. And yeah, this is just some of the stuff that we created this year as a team. But yes, because I'm sure everyone wants more details on exactly what we did. The next slide covers it a bit more. So as I mentioned earlier, we had articles catering to quite a wide variety of students. So things from how to buy a monitor, to posture, to an intro to Vim, cybersecurity, CS careers, like, yeah, really spanned a broad range of things. And that's due to our subcom having some really cool ideas on the stuff they wanted to cover. And then with videos, we started off the year with some video intros actually filmed during our road trip for a quick pre-recruitment intro to the entire 2020 director and exec team, which was pretty exciting. And then also media was in charge of editing, uploading, and managing all the workshop videos to the CSESoc YouTube channel. So yeah, and then as I mentioned earlier, teaching newbies and media's take on Jubilee videos are the two that we filmed or slash are filming during week 6. And yeah, it was definitely a pretty intense and long process, and a massive thanks to all the subcom involved in like planning and running it all. But I think it went really well, and so pretty excited to release those soon. But yeah, I'll pass on to Clarence now.
Yeah, so this year we also focused on getting a lot of content and like integrating with the CSE community and external sponsors, continuing on from the work that Adrian and Mary kind of set the groundwork for in 2019. So this included a whole lot of like career, like industry talks, as well as like personal project stuff, which is a relatively new addition where we talk to various people from the CSE community at uni to like kind of go on about their projects and what motivated them to do that and stuff. Additionally, on top of the videos that we did at the beginning of the year for meeting the directors and execs, we released a few podcasts going a bit more into it. I think so far we've done Com Club, Creative, and the Co-Residents. Given the time constraints, I don't think there's much time to do the others. I'm sorry, but 3 is still pretty good. And we've done podcasts with representatives from Canva and Baraja, and some more people coming along the way, including uni lecturers. I believe there was a podcast with Mark Chi that was just recorded today, actually. And we have one lined up with Aaron Quigley, the head of school, and we've recorded one with Hayden as well. And on top of pods and collaborations with the community and industry, we've gotten more like better equipment in order to facilitate higher quality content production in the future years. For instance, we got new microphones and an audio interface, and looking at getting some more kind of video equipment like boom poles and stuff to help facilitate better stuff in the future. And lastly, we became the interim CSESoc main website until the proper website gets released by projects. And yeah, next slide, please. Okay, so we have a bunch of stats that we would like to show for the growth of media, I guess. So for Echo, our podcast, throughout the year, we've seen our downloads increase by 200%. Line of Best Fit obviously shows that we've increased from around like 75 downloads in the first month to just over 200 to 210. And next slide. Next slide is talking about what we, the statistics on the website. As we can see, the users of the website over time have pretty much increased from, say, around 270 to just under 500. So that's about an increase of 100%. And the views have increased a lot as well. Mainly due to the amount of content that we released and the amount of high quality content that we released, as well as marketing plugging us. You guys also noticed that there is a data point missing for February 2020, and that's because the users in February 2020 was actually 1,114. So that's like way above the threshold for the graph. This is because the first year guide was released that month. So obviously influx of users would be expected, but we removed it because obviously it would mess with the line best fit graph. And same thing for the page views, which in February was a total of 3,326. So again, a huge outlier. And so we can see that the stats at the bottom throughout these are the stats throughout the entire year. Throughout the entire year, we've gained essentially 4,000, nearly 4,300 users using the website. And of those users, they've opened like 6,500 sessions, and we've gotten over 13,000 page views. And again, none of this would have been possible without the media team working really hard at their projects and getting it done. So a huge shout out once again. So additionally, however, with all that we've achieved, there's always room for improvement. You guys can read the meme if you want. So in all, I think the biggest things that we could have improved on this year, and we hope that next year's successive team would improve on what we did. We should have started the first year guide earlier, as well as started recruiting earlier in order to like get as much stuff done as possible. And we hope that having established like a precedent for an online first year guide, it would make the process a bit easier for next year. Additionally, we would have liked to have more socials with the team for better bonding. I think we've achieved a good level as of right now, but obviously it would have been better for it to have been done earlier. Thirdly, we should have held more opportunities for subcom upskilling, particularly in areas of like video editing and podcast recording and stuff like that. Obviously, COVID kind of put a stop to that. Kind of hindered that a little bit, but I think we should have done a bit more in what we actually did. And lastly, earlier in the year, we should have managed the teams a bit better so that more content is produced before the midterm crunch begins. And yeah, that's all we have for media.